hold on to your hats, because guess what? A pregnant mummy just casually waltzed into our lives from ancient Egypt, right in Warsaw. This isn't just any mummy, she's the Beyoncé of ancient times, indicating she was pretty high up on the social ladder back in the day. Talk about a royal bundle of joy. And speaking of things that need a makeover, let's hop over to Rome, where Emperor Augustus' mausoleum is getting some serious TLC. They're not just dusting off the cobwebs, they're reminding us all how crucial it is to keep our historical hangout spots looking spiffy for future generations. Because, who wants to explain to their great-great-grandkids why ancient buildings look like they just survived a zombie apocalypse? Now, let's take a trip to India, where a treasure trove of gold jewelry was discovered. It's so shiny you might need sunglasses just to look at it. This find shows off just how rich and culturally vibrant India's history really is. Seriously, if ancient treasures had Instagram, this one would be flexing hard. But wait, there's more. Imagine finding a treasure hoard that's potentially over 100 years old. Now that's what we call a real-life pirate moment. Local landowners and community members had emotional freakouts when this treasure was unearthed, proving once again that buried loot can stir up quite the drama. I mean, who wouldn't want to suddenly strike gold? Across the waters in Scotland, a treasure trove featuring over 100 gold and silver artifacts has emerged. That's right, folks, it's the largest Viking collection in the UK, and it's now chilling in a national museum. Talk about a Viking sleepover turned epic showcase. And they're still cleaning it up like it's the messiest room in the house. Now, get ready for some ancient artistry as we travel to Athens, where a marble head of Hermes from 300 BC was discovered. It's like the ancient version of a celebrity statue. This find shows the clout Hermes had in public spaces back then. I mean, if you had to guess, wouldn't you want a marble head in your backyard for added prestige? And in a twist that only nature could cook up, rabbits in Wales have been digging up archaeological artifacts. That's right, fluffy bunnies revealing evidence of human life thousands of years ago. Talk about a surprising talent. These cute little archaeologists are digging up everything from tools to cremation urns, giving us a peek into prehistoric lifestyles. Guess they were more than just cute little pets. Switching gears to brainpower, researchers compared early human skulls with modern ones, and the results were surprising. Turns out, those early humans weren't exactly chatting like we do. Their brain evolution for communication was like the first awkward stage of learning to text without emojis. Who knew we'd have to thank evolution for our ability to overshare? But wait, the skeptics chime in, saying that just because our skulls changed, it doesn't mean our brains were Netflix material yet. It's like having the latest tech but still using it to play solitaire. This just goes to show, evolution is a complex beast, and there's more to the story than meets the eye. Now, all this brainy talk is part of a larger picture on human evolution, where scientists are diving into fossil records like they're on an archaeological treasure hunt. They're planning to sift through hundreds of samples to find patterns, sort of like they're trying to solve the biggest mystery since who took the last slice of pizza. Next up, we dig into some Viking mythology. Caves have this crazy connection with apocalyptic events, giving us insight into burial practices even after Christianity rolled into Iceland. It's like the ultimate game of cultural tug-of-war, showing us that sacred sites are like the hottest spots across generations. In a plot twist you wouldn't believe, a Roman sword was found in Canada, suggesting that Romans may have hit the shores of America long before the Vikings got there. Can you imagine how that changes our stories of ancient adventurers? It's like finding out your favorite movie has a sequel you never knew about. Let's shift to Africa, where ancient burial practices dating back 78,000 years are telling us tales of early human societies. It's like digging up the coolest history lessons about how people honored their dead, emphasizing why archaeology is basically the real-life version of Indiana Jones. And foodies, get ready to rejoice. The Chinese were whipping up diverse dishes like noodles thousands of years ago. That's right, they weren't just inventing awesome food, they were laying the groundwork for future takeout places. Who knew a bowl of noodles could have so much historical significance? And speaking of amazing discoveries, ancient Chinese astronomers were the original stargazers. They figured out the Earth was spherical. Their celestial observations ignited timekeeping methods that would make even today's techies proud. I mean, without them, we'd probably still be using sundials made out of pizza boxes. But that's not all, because these ancient innovators also came up with cool inventions like the seismograph and automatic machines. I bet they were just bored one day saying, "Hey, let's invent some gadgets." And boom, out comes a future of tech worth bragging about. And now for something utterly fascinating, a wooden statue found in the Urals that's practically preserved like it just walked off a movie set. Unique environmental conditions kept it looking sharp, flipping the script on what we thought we knew about its age. Talk about a surprise twist in our understanding of history. Looking back to the 5th century BC, the Paseric carpet shows off the fancy footwork of ancient cultures. Buried in a royal tomb, it managed to evade the ravages of time like a boss. Seriously, it's like the ultimate time capsule of style. Archaeologists in Turkey have uncovered a Roman arena that's been chillin' for 1800 years, once a hotspot for gladiator battles. Thanks to natural overgrowth, it's managed to stay preserved, ready for its close-up as a historical site. Who wouldn't want to visit a place where epic battles went down? On a more artistic note, the Kenjiro sword, Japan's national treasure, is a testament to exquisite craftsmanship. It's like sword art online in real life. This beauty is well preserved, unlike many of its ancient buddies that have crumbled into dust. Craftsmanship goals, am I right? Now let's talk about the Emerald Buddha, which calls Bangkok's Wat Phra Kaewit's home. This statue is not just revered, it's believed to sprinkle prosperity over Thailand. And get this, the king changes the statue's attire 3 times a year. Talk about a royal fashion statement. There's also some heated debate about whether the Emerald Buddha is made of jade or jadeite, because who doesn't love a good material showdown? This buzz highlights how important this artifact is beyond just its glimmering surface. It's like the celebrity of historical debates. Give it up for the superstar athlete, Fittipaldi, whose record-long jump stayed unbeatable until 1952. His legendary feats involved jumping incredible distances, and let's be real, probably left a lot of people wondering if he had superpowers. Did he have a secret sauce for success or just a killer gym playlist? And then there's Polydamas, a champ known for his immense strength and epic victories. He was like the Dwayne Johnson of his day. His physical training must have been intense. It's not all about muscles, it's about legendary status too. Strongman competitions were basically ancient reality TV. In a dramatic twist, Archon won a match after he kicked the bucket, showcasing the wild nature of ancient athletic contests. Like, who knew the afterlife could be that competitive? This highlights just how much athletes were revered, even beyond the grave. Talk about continuing the fight. And get this, a warrior was found in incomplete armor, hinting he might have been a big deal back in the volcanic eruption days. Instead of running for his life, he just stood there, proving our ancestors had a serious bond with their environments. Who would have thought that facing a volcanic eruption could bring about such unexpected insights? In an adventure worthy of an epic saga, a female Viking explorer named Gudrid crossed the Atlantic ages before Columbus. Talk about girl power in exploration and trade. This shakes up the typical tales we hear and proves that women had their feet in the game long before it was trendy. Zooming back to Sichuan, discover a golden mask and other relics dating back 3,200 years, giving us a peek into ancient Chinese culture's rituals. It's like a treasure chest of long-lost beliefs. These artifacts are basically the keys to understanding deeper cultural nuances of their time. Now onto ancient organisms. These guys had some pretty nifty adaptations, including 2-layered cells for specific tasks. It's like the original multitasking. These early life forms were the pioneers of complexity, paving the way for what would eventually evolve into all of us, still struggling to divide our attention. But here comes the plot twist. The extinction of massive creatures like Diprotodon and megafauna is linked to climate change and human shenanigans. Understanding these factors gives us a crash course in what we need to do to keep modern species from facing the same fate. Let's take notes so we don't end up in a future history lesson. Finally, let's swim back in time to uncover fossil finds like a giant prehistoric fish. These discoveries illustrate the spectacular marine life that existed millions of years ago, adding colors to our understanding of evolutionary processes. Who knew history could feel so much like an oceanic theme park adventure?